Alright, well, I got the car up on the quick jack, and I'm going to put in the classic Retrofit water bottle retrofit kit. So I guess the idea is the stock water bottle is up here at the front of the wheel well. It doesn't work worth a shit on mine. And then you put in the back of the wheel well, you put the one from the Boxster. I already took my AC out, and I'm going to upgrade to 12 volt next year. So I want to try this mod. So if you're not, I'm sure by now most people kind of do stuff themselves, but if you don't, you just go to Harbor Freight, get the Bauer batteries and tools, and you'll be off to the races. And then you get your nice old 19 millimeter here and take your wheels off. Alright, you get a chance to take a look at your brakes. I know mine are pretty good. As I said, I already removed my dryer. And then I want to take this guy out. I already replaced this hose, the filler, which goes in from up here. So here I go. I think you remove the hose clamp here, and then there's another clamp down here holding it in, and I don't have the washers for the headlights, so this shouldn't be too bad. If you want another good tutorial on this, I love Joe the engineer. He does a great job. He really outlined this in his channel, refurbishment of this existing water bottle. Alright, so just kind of my work area. I have the Bauer light right there from Harbor Freight. I kind of dig that because it's the same battery as that impact wrench uses. And I have the nut driver and the drill and the fan and all this cool stuff. And I use this Grant's, like a car detail little roller. I just kind of get on here because I'm getting old and I have a seat. See, I'm right at the right level here to work on the car. So that's kind of my work setup, and I'm going to start disassembling this. Okay, fill hose removed. Easy 2 hose clamps. Alright, the little worm clamp underneath here, 6 millimeter hex. Plastic cap in there, so I'll get that started with channel locks. It's never been off, so wish me luck. Okay, cap is loose. There's a 10 millimeter back there, so I'm going to get to that. I don't even know what this tank is. I have to look it up in the owner's manual, in the shop manual rather. Move this guy here. Oh, it's moving. Okay, so there's the washer bottle. There's the bracket with the bolt and the unidentified overflow bottle. Pull out. On the inside. That's what it winds up looking like. So I'll have to find the motor next, I think. Alright, well, I did a quick check of the part number, 911-201-07702. This is the fuel expansion tank. So no idea what to do with that. I guess I could put it back with that bracket. That was not in the instructions, so maybe older ones didn't have that, but I'll figure it out. I spy the washer motor right there next to the battery. There's the pump. Okay, so here's the kit. What you have to supply is the tank. This was eBay. The spout, you have to cut it at some point. I think you cut it around here, but the instructions aren't clear. It says 100 millimeter, so I think you just use that. That goes in there, like that, in the grommet, and then the hose goes from here up to where you fill it in the gas tank. This also comes with it. This is the low water sensor, so I test it with an ohm meter, so I am getting a reading when this thing moves around. I don't know how they work. It looks pretty lousy, but it works. Okay, so then Johnny in his kit supplies the brackets for these. Okay. We have various fasteners. It's like a two-way coupler. Wiring to the pump, and from the existing wires, I guess you could also use the low fuel gauge for washer fluid as a warning. Zip ties, some foam, and instructions. So I'm going to start getting to this, and I'll do little updates as I get to them. Alright, first step, once you remove this, there's a little semicircle here. You have to kind of put one here. So I'm going to use my Bauer cordless drill. Alright, so I put the semicircle here so it could be reversed when it goes back in here. Okay, there's like a little locating molding there. Okay, so the 100mm piece here, we're going to cut around here. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so this is either going to go well or it'll be another order from eBay. Oh, let's see here. All right, I'd say that went well. Okay, next up it says to test fit the rubber grommets into those holes, but they don't fit. But they will after you lube it up. Okay, I took the grommets off, carefully prying here. And now they're home, in their new home, here. And then you test fit it by putting it back in there. So, I don't know if you're new at this type of stuff, but you know, you always want to have silicone grease for your rubber bits. It doesn't break down the rubber. Next, it said to trim this off to 12mm, so I used the PVC cutter and did this one already. And that's the knob I left behind. So I don't think that's 12mm, but I don't want to cut into the tank. So we'll see how that goes. Alright, one of them I did cut a little too deep, and a little hole was in the middle of this one. So I got the scraps like this, a soldering gun, and I just melted it back into the hole. So I'm going to go test to make sure this is watertight, and I'm going to continue. Alright, so bad news, not a showstopper. So the tank is watertight, but these are the bolts that hold the wing on. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think these top two, that bracket with the grommets has to bolt to those, and of course the superior Carrera 3.2 corrosion resistant material is covering the bolts, so that's going to be fun to remove on those two bolts. So I'll get to it. So like on this bolt here, you wouldn't do this one, but so what I did was I used a carpet knife. You cut around the undercoating and pry it off with a screwdriver. So it's these two. So you loosen the bolt there and there. You slide that on, and then you tighten them a little bit so that it's snug, but this bracket could move up and down. So I don't know, it took me about 5 minutes to do it. Not pleasant, but not the end of the world either. Alright, so next up, pull with this bracket up, the second one, which is here. It looks like that with the snap on it. That's the next step. 10mm. This is going to go in the wheel well where that bracket was, where it screws in. So you're going to cut a piece of that, stick it to this, and then that'll fasten up with this hardware right here. Okay, so we have the cushioning in there, and I pushed this through the hole from the outside so it will stick and not come off. Alright, put this one back in the hole. The hardware on that is a 3mm hex. The nylock on the other side is 8mm. Alright, there's the stainless steel bolt, 5mm bolt coming through, so I'll put this up on it. Where is it? That, the nylock, and the washer. Okay, so here's the rough bracket, here's the rear bracket, and then the upper bracket not tightened yet. So go to the next step. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but here's the filler. Jeez, it's all shadowy. Jeez. Okay, this is gonna be hard to get, but there's a spot right here. Okay, it's covered with undercoating. Grab like an Allen key or something and push through it. There's like a flat spot. I get a better focus here. There's a flat spot here. See this? It's like almost a square right here. Just push right through the undercoating. And I believe that this goes into the frunk where you would put the hose through, the washer hose. So we'll try that. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some stainless steel wire in that hole, see where it goes, and then I'll cut the washer hose, tie it to this, and then pull it through like we do in IT. Alright, so if you fish around long enough, that grommet will go up by the filler and it could come out there. It could probably come out these holes here too, but you gotta find it, and this is what I found, so I'm gonna go with that. Okay, so correction, that hole at that angle, going a little bit up, maybe 20 degrees, right now it's through the grommet at that angle, so I'm gonna use that. Okay, I do care. I made a grommet for the hole in the firewall where the washer goes through. Alright, the grommet is in. It's the little things, people. Alright, reading through the instructions, fingering this out. So this is the part that will go into the tank here. I'm going to put this on the filler neck. Okay, so for wiring, so you're going to pull this stuff out. The the washer fluid line. So you're going to have a few grommets over here. So you got to pick a winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Alright. Now there's going to be one here, one there, with something going through that, and then there'll be two here. The top one is easier to do. This one is kind of by the impact bumper strut. Not so good. So I'm going to put a grommet in this one. I'll probably see if I can get a grommet to fit through this one here. So basically you just run them through the wheel well, and they're easier to do kind of in this area, get under the car in this area here, and you'll be able to get them through. So I got the grommets mostly in. So these are what you take out. This is what they were running through. There's two of those. So you don't really have to, well, there are holes in it. So there's a lot of dirt behind it. So you don't want to get the dirt in there, in the cabin. So there's one grommet. I carefully put the wires through this one. And when I'm done with it, I'll stick it in. These were 16mm grommets. Okay, minor dilemma. So I've got, let's see, brown, I got black, I got this one, but it says connect brown and black to brown and black. But I have brown and yellow. So what I'm going to do, knowing that German cars and Porsches ground is brown, I'll do brown to brown and black to yellow. If that's a problem, I'll make an addendum at the end of the video. Okay, so quick recap. I've got these connected here. These are where the the wiper fluid pump was here. Then it has this red and black, so I'm running it over here. The instructions have it going to the fuel gauge, so it's back up in there. And I'll be able to get low fluid level, and it'll share it with the right here. Yeah, it'll share the low fuel with the wiper fluid. So I'll just pull this guy out right here. Okay, got the gauge out. There's the wire, so I just have to figure out which one it goes in, and then we'll put it back in. Okay, there you can see it. This is the wire supplied with the kit. It goes into the bulb. And then the black wire, so the instructions are correct on the Carrera 3.2. That is the low fuel wire. So you unplug the black from here, you plug the red and black into it, and you plug the original wire into the Y connector. And then put it back in. Oh, and yes, you can use the red line phone mount on your fuel gauge as well as your clock. Okay, so I tightened the brackets and I'm making my electrical connections. There's the sensor and there's the pump. I'm going to cut this to fit the washer fluid line and hook that up, and then put that in the filler neck and we'll test her out. Okay, quick update. So just doing the wire. So I got another P-clamp. So the kit comes with one. I like two. So you'll have a hole in this location if you've already removed your AC system, which is most of the point of doing this kit. So the the condenser will go here like a 964. So you could use your existing hole. So the kit does not come with the fastener for this. So I use a stainless steel sheet metal screw. Here's the other one here. And then if you have a factory air conditioner, in this area there'll be a bar, that clamps your receiver dryer to. I took that off so I could get that bottle as far back as possible. So what I did, I just went in this morning. I filled some of these holes with white caulk. And then up here, where this comes through, I didn't want to scrape any more undercoating off. So I just caulked around that. So far so good. I have this stuff here ready to go on. I need to just do a little more fitting. Getting both of these mounting bosses into that is a little bit of a challenge. So hopefully not too much more. Okay, next, the filler neck hose. I shortened it significantly. I didn't measure it, maybe 9-10 inches, but it's kind of have to curl around and go back in it. So just do a little at a time. Don't cut too much because you can't put it back on. Okay, I got it in. Yeah, just some tips and tricks. Make sure the top lug goes in first and then rotate it down. And then you put the bolt in on the top. I guess there's a little IOU here. There's some exposed wires here outside of the sheath. So I'll get a little bit of some of that black conduit. I'd rather have the insulation in the wheel well here and then through that grommet than over here. So I'll address that. And I just got to put the last grommet in over here. I'll made some space, and then I'll be done. Okay, right there. looks like the low washer and fuel light combo light is working. I'm going to fill it up and see if it goes out. Alright, one more thing. I put the check valve here. Alright, let's see some squirting. Alright, so I blew some air through the lines and I guess I had a clog, so look at that. So far so good. Okay, addendum here. Everything seems to be working. Remember the tank from before? That's back in. So that is the gasoline expansion tank. So just so you know, where's my finger? There it is. Gasoline, and this one, and then the small one's the vapor that goes back to the charcoal canister. And then I just got back from the store. I got some loom here to protect the wire here and the wheel well. Alright, so doesn't look like I have really any clearance issues here, but I'll keep my eye on it. Alright, so hopefully this helps someone, and enjoy your job if you decide to take something like this on. Take care.